All right, stream and recording are started.
All right, and welcome to the January 24th, 2020 Council of Crowns meeting. We're going to go through attendance real quick. Astro wins. Puppet. Puppet is here. His microphone is just not working. Ravenstone.
I'm here.
Lupin Moon.
Here.
Frozen Coast is absent. Icefire Bay is absent. Northreach is here. Okay. So just a couple of quick announcements. The elections for the upcoming Council of Crowns and Kingdom PMs were completed. Corin, did you want to give us a list of our winners? Or is this too on the spot for you?
Too on the spot for me. I haven't got all the stuff from Valerian, seeing as he's the one who ran the elections.
Yeah. So from what I've gathered, we have Puppet up in Astral Winds, where we'll be returning for the next Council of Crowns. Down in Ravenstone, Woman-at-Arms Zyajin will be stepping up to the plate as your new monarch. In Lupin Moon, Squire Paragon Abram will be stepping up as the new Duke. In Frozen Coast, we have Lord Rosedeath? Yeah, there you go. Proper titles. And in Square Bay, we will have Chinoha. As our new Kingdom Prime Minister, Rolo will be stepping up. Did I miss anybody there?
It's Baron Rosedeath, too.
Oh, apologies. All right, and I will be staying on as my term is not complete. Dungeon Con next week. Make sure you are letting all of your regions know that we will not have games locally unless you are having games. I was going to ask Frozen Coast. It sounds like they were on the fence. Anybody from Frozen Coast on tonight that can tell us if they're playing or not? Are any of your regions still having game day while Dungeon Con is going? Puppet's region is having game day. Lupin Moon is not. If Lupin Moon and Ravenstone are, we have issues. Those are the locals.
No, Ravenstone is not.
All right, so make sure the parks are announcing if they are having game. So Frozen Coast, we'll toss a note over to Steven to see if they're playing. Astro Winds, just make sure to keep those people up to date. It's sucky when you miss game when you could have gone because you thought everybody was off to some awesome event. If for any reason why you folks are looking for rides, make sure we're getting as many people to Dungeon Con as possible. This is our one real big event that everybody gets to come together and actually socialize with each other. It's really nice for those faraway parks to come together. Reduces a lot of our drama when we get to socialize with each other.
We do have a page set up specifically for that, too. Just
we
throwing
do.
that out there.
Hars, why don't you share that again onto the Northreach page, see if we can get people actually using that. We have all these great pages and resources.
You got it.
Awesome. Speaking of Hars, why don't you give me a report on what the Regents will be doing in the next 6 months, what they have left to do of this reign.
Give me 1 second. I'm pulling up the page for that other page first, really. Majarza's asking if we have a page. Yes, we do, Majarza. As a matter of fact, it's dedicated pretty much specifically for caravanning from the various locations to all our big Northreach events. This will be used for Dungeon Crawl, it'll be used for Wolf's Cry. Pretty much any event that's happening, we can use it for that. I'll be posting it in the Northreach page after I get done with my whole spiel here really quick. Anyway, so region report time. So now that Midrain and election stuff is all passed, I don't really have much to do calendar, like work-wise, on the calendar department. I did, however, find a few avenues for different locations for possible demo opportunities. So Patrick O'Flanagan, the director for TaiKaiCon, is offering a pretty solid space for both a booth and a demo for us to have if we want to pursue that. Also, double checking, Puppet, are we still set to do something for Alaska Comic Con up in Fairbanks? Puppet, you there?
He can't talk, so look at the IRL chat because for some reason he's doing it in there instead of the spectators lounge.
All right, 1 second.
There is a page called CoC Spectators Lounge, Puppet. Or even in the CoC page.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume that Yesum is in response to us doing things at Alaska Comic Con. Is that right? Okay, is he in the spectator lounge this time?
He said yes.
Okay, cool. Other things we have include Arctic Comic Con, which is going to be in Anchorage, Yuki Fest, which I believe Zygen's already got the reins for tomorrow, actually. And SenshiCon, I'll technically be out of office by the time we get there, but we can still get the groundwork down before the rain changes. That being said, though, is there anything else you'd like me to include on my agenda for the end of this reign / the second half of our current reign?
With SenshiCon, I want you guys to try to be on top of that as quick as possible. We haven't gotten a SenshiCon in the last, I think, 2 or 3 years. Something always come up.
To be fair, last year was kind of in a development hell, so we weren't able to properly set up a thing with them this year just because we didn't really have the time to.
Can I talk now?
There you are.
Dope. Oh man, that was weird.
Anyway, yeah, we'll definitely be on top of SenshiCon this year, though. Like, so for now, at the very least, I can work on getting a booth secure as long as if I got the go.
So for SenshiCon, are you guys gonna do a fighter ring and a information booth?
The venue space would be big enough to where we could possibly do something like that, but I think it's worth discussing what we actually wanted to do with that.
Well, and it's good to take into account the poll that I took because a couple of years ago I ran the SenshiCon booth, and I had everybody sign this, fill out a questionnaire, and it entered them into getting to win an epic sword, which was awesome. But the majority of the people thought it would be amazing to have a fighter ring. Because could you imagine having like Darth Vader and whoever else in the ring, and they wanted to RP it or whatever combination of different characters that would show up at SenjiCon fighting each other in a ring. Like that's
A few years ago, when we did actually do something like that, we had a demo. Talon hosted it, and all it really was just a bunch of people all had like a single short sword, and we basically just ditched. And people seem to enjoy that. Would we be wanting to do something like that?
I mean, like you guys just had like a section of the time that you guys played.
Ryan, can you repeat that? You cut out halfway through.
Sorry about that. So you mean just do a demo and have people be able to come in and join and do some ditch or something?
Pretty much.
Sure, whatever you guys want to do. My kid usually likes to do SenshiCon, and I'd be happy to help out with a booth or fighter ring or anything like that this year.
Fantastic. I'll start drafting up sort of a plan, and I'll have that ready for viewing probably within the next week or so. Just wanted to get like a rough idea of what all we wanted to do.
Well, I would love to see a fighter ring, and I would totally help like encourage people into that. I think that it could be a whole lot of fun, especially built up, and people could probably even start looking forward to it in years future.
Sounds like a plan. All right. Well, that's all I really got from the board. Mara, did you have anything else you wanted me to add to that? Like anything else you wanted me to?
It'll be good for you just to brainstorm it with your new council coming in, figure out if they have anything. Anything from the rest of the monarchs? Something you'd like to ask the regent on your last meeting with him?
No, I'm good. That
How much?
sounds great to me.
How much woodchuck in a woodchuck if you can chuck wood?
Puppet, I'm going to mute you.
It's happened before.
Chuck no wood because a woodchuck can't chuck wood. Just
Don't
putting
encourage
that out.
it, Jack. Moving along, putting my other man-at-arms on the chopping block. Woman-at-arms Zyajin. Dungeon Con report?
It's 1 week away. And as Rolo said, he canceled it.
You heard it, guys. Sorry, we have canceled Dungeon Con. Everybody has to stay home next week.
So no, it's coming swimmingly. 1 week away. A lot of pre-sales are happening. I'm pretty excited about that. My living room is starting to look like I robbed Amazon. If anyone hasn't heard, we're crazy and going to start set up Friday morning at 6 a.m. with lots of caffeine running through our veins. I have filled all the vendor booths, which is pretty awesome.
How many is that? How many did we have?
5.
Ooh, that's like 3 more than we had last year.
So I have House Von Dreck is going to be there again selling their mercantile. We've got massage, 3-chair massage. So they're going to be set up to give massages. So when you're all tired from running through the LARP dungeon, we've got a guy coming with miniatures for like D&D. The Tai Kai Patrick O'Flanagan's going to come out and help provide some equipment if we need, so we can lock official with walkie-talkies. And he's going to help sell his tickets for this May. And then the Wandering Merchant will be there.
Very awesome.
I think Drake's dungeon stuff's coming along pretty well. I'm sure he can speak on his behalf, but I know House Von Dreck's been busy making kits, so they're all set up. And buy your tickets, skip the lines, pre-register. Otherwise, court's Saturday at 7. And I think that's about it, unless anyone's got any specific questions.
Any specific questions, folks? Zyajin, is there anything that you need from us? Anything we need to gather up more people for?
I believe Drake has a few more monster slots available. I think there's a couple more slots on the admin table, but Darcy / Nymphindali. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. She is volunteered to pretty much work the admin table all weekend. So anyone wants to help out her out, other than Nalarian. And I think Karen has a few spots open in her side of the tavern, and Dan's pretty staffed, from what I understand.
Now, previously there was talk of working with the local PTAs. Did that end up panning out?
It did not.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe for next year we'll put a pin in that, and when somebody takes us on next year, maybe they'll run with that idea.
Super excited.
Puppet, how many folks you got coming up?
6 driving, 3 flying.
Nice turnout. Do the folks flying need pickups from the airport?
I'm picking up my cousin, and I believe Ada and Dolt are pretty well on top of it. So whatever they decided.
Do we have anybody coming up from Icefire Bay, Sage?
Not that I know of. This is a really shitty time of year, and we're really far. Which I guess Fairbanks is probably farther, and kudos to you, totally.
It's just
But
They do have mostly
it's so
older
cold
members, though.
most of our is so. But I will try to bring people in force to Wolf's Creek.
We look forward to that. Alrighty. Moving down my list. Let's look at... Oh, did anybody else have anything for Zygen before we move on to attendance average? Hearing nothing. All right. Attendance average.
Thank you for all you do and for who you are.
All right. So pulling up attendance averages. Let's start up at Astral Winds. Oh, no, that's the wrong month. December. Astral Winds, your December attendance averaged was 26.67. That is a very strong...
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be?
Yeah, because 2 of those weeks are fighter practices and ANSs. Our gym was closed for the last 2 weeks of December.
Oh, so were you only open? You only played once?
Twice. We hang on. Let me pull
I'm
it
looking
up.
at your PM report.
He shouldn't have. My bad. Hang on. That's not right. Come back to us.
All right, we'll come back to puppets. All right, so down to Ravenstone. Ravenstone is also a barony, so their numbers are not in here. Have you solved your Prime Minister concerns, Ravenstone?
Drasik is appointed pending ratification on basically the first week of the new, so February 9th, I believe that is.
Okay. I will pin this as a note that we need to come back and review Ravenstone. It looks like there's no PM reports for November or December for them.
Yeah.
Correct. And I'm announcing the all thing on Sunday, and so we'll have the vote after DC.
Okay, awesome. Down to Lupin Moon.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Sorry.
Do you have some?
There appears to be an extra week in that. That 18 shouldn't be in there. That's they were at my house because our gym was closed.
Oh, because that's an ANS that should not be there?
Yeah, that 12/21. Well, that was cool.
Also, December average for Ravenstone is 23.75.
23.75. That is a strong barony. And Astral Winds averages with that adjustment comes to 31, which is just over Duchy numbers, despite the fact they're a barony. Keep up the work. You're going to be a Duchy again soon.
If we handled our math correctly, we believe we are going to be above 30 come DC.
Nice. So we're going to make sure to schedule a
quite
review,
possible.
have everything up. I will chat with Rolo and get you a timeline for when you should know how you did. Well, how everybody should know how they did. All right, down to Loop and Moon, 36.25 for December. That's Duchy numbers, which are pretty good for December. December is historically one of our less than awesome months.
True.
All right, then we're into Frozen Coast. 29.5. So close to Duchy numbers. But they are barony right now. But their numbers are climbing up really good. We've had a 28 or 25.25 in October, 28 in November, and 29.5 in December. That's climbing every month. Way to go, Frozen Coast. Icefire Bay, which is a shire. Shire requirements are 5 folks. And they have 16.6 in December. That is barony number. Looks like that's you guys have pretty consistently barony numbers.
Oh yeah, our biggest issue is that we only have had a top 3 over the last little bit. Now we actually have a top 5 and an heir apparent got voted in. So it's pretty
Hey. So what you're saying is we're probably going to be seeing the barony of Icefire Bay eventually?
I mean, can we have stats and still keep the title Shire? Because Shire just sounds cool. I mean,
How that
no
works.
offense to baronies or anything, but you know.
Shires are fun. You don't have as many requirements, so I'd be sad to give up Shire myself.
Yeah, but we're excited to make that step for sure.
Nice. All right. Does anybody have questions about averages? How much you need to have for your park status? For everybody listening, the basics are this: shires need to have an average of 5 people over over the last 6 months. Baronies 15, duchies 30.
How do we enter the DC and the Wolfscry days? Do we just count them as fire practice? Because most of our group takes off, or does us sending in other parks count towards our parks numbers?
It does not count towards your parks numbers. That's why a lot of the time people actually cancel their park days.
So we should just do a fighter practice or something.
You can do an ANS, a fighter practice, whatever you'd like, but generally you cancel your park days.
Gotcha.
Oh, and it encourages more people to come down to DC.
No, don't do that to me. That's an inside joke.
Alrighty. So if nobody has any questions about attendance, which we're going to try to have an attendance audit for the last 6 months by the 2nd By 1 month into the reign. I'll talk to Rolo about that. See if he's going to hate me for that.
So the new PM report spreadsheet that I put together,
Uh-huh.
basically that will have that done as the numbers are entered.
They should, so long as everything's up to date.
Correct.
So, got to get all the PMs on getting everything up to date. So, does anybody have anything else they'd like to cover tonight? I know this has been kind of a quick meeting, not much to cover left for the year.
I think we had something to discuss downstairs.
We do. Anything else that we'd like to discuss publicly first? Before we go and talk about these people in a super secret closed session?
I just want to let everybody know I'm excited because both Chi and Hazel are out of crutches now, and Gudrun is out of the hospital. So the Shire is looking pretty positive.
Shire's getting healthy.
Wait, did I miss something? When were they in the hospital?
She had some foot issues. It's a
Oh wait, yeah, I do remember this. Actually, I see that someone from the Juneau Park is here. Do we want to address the whole process for having them become part of the?
Absolutely. So we've been discussing the requirements there. Honestly, I went through the bylaws and I've not been able to find anything that actually lays out any requirements beyond showing that, well, nothing in the manual, but we've discussed it previously, that they should need to show that they have a regular facility and a regular group. Nalarian, did you end up looking into any of this? I know it was either you or Corin I was chatting with.
Yeah, it's in the admin manual. I have to pull it up right quick. I don't have it right in front of me this instant, but I can in a few seconds.
Okay, Google View it for me.
So the admin manual section you are looking for is A.13.4.2. They have to have been active Amped Guard. I can talk. I really can. They have to have been an active chapter of Amped Guard for a minimum of 6 months and met all Shire requirements during that time. They have to sign the contract to the Kingdom, receive the approval of the Board of Directors, and pass a 2/3 vote of the general membership.
Perfect. All right, let me.
So the only thing that I know of for sure that I think would potentially be an issue in that one is the active chapter for 6 months requirement.
I believe so too. I know they've been working at it, but there were a couple of short spells, a couple of spots there where I didn't see it. Let me see if I have any records here. I didn't find them in the orc last I went to look. So I think the solution here is we'll get all their documentation and do a quick audit, see if they have met Shire standards for 6 months. If that does happen, if everything works out, then I can pop this over to the next BoD. Once they're approved there, we can take it to an alt thing. All just getting our ducks in a line. I know we'll have some folks here. Oh, thank you for the link. We got a link to your orc. My Google Foo is not strong today.
Majarza, you are on point today.
Hey, you want to unmute and talk to us about your group? Because I'm putting everybody on point today. Unserver muted. There you go. The orc here is showing us back to September 22.
So that sounds like they'd potentially become eligible in March.
If the orc records are accurate and they don't have more that needs to be entered.
Okay, I think I got this to work.
Yeah, you got to work in.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. So yeah, we have been meeting since then. Initially, we were meeting at our actual park here in town, and right now our gym we're using is Riverside Elementary here in Juneau. So, yeah, we've been doing our darndest to keep our numbers up. We've been averaging at least, I think the smallest park day we've had since our first couple of weeks there was maybe 8 people. But beyond that, we've been managing to keep it up around like 15. So
Yeah, I'm looking at your numbers here. This looks pretty nice. So is September 22 your first official day you played?
yes, I do believe so. And actually, I believe our Facebook page even talks about that being our first day in.
Awesome. So that puts you eligible for review as of March the 1st, so long as you maintain the averages. And
Yeah, I don't know why we won't maintain that, but we'll see.
it looks like you're already to a really good start on that. Is there anything that we can do to kind of help you along?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. We've got enough loaner gear that we can provide for whoever shows up. We've already had some people starting to construct their own weapons. I've passed the Reeves test, and I need to get that verified by someone. And then I've been making lots of loaner sashes lately. So yeah.
Nice. Do you have officers up for all of your positions?
No, so far we just have the oh my sweet goodness.
Adult? No, I'm just kidding.
Monarch?
The Monarch position, thank you. I'm working with him to try and fill the PM position myself, but we haven't officially put me in that role yet. I don't know why we're holding off as of yet, but I'm excited to fill that role when I get there.
PMs are the best. I mean, I totally love my job as Monarch. Not just PMs.
I know they have the real power. That's why I want the position.
It's that pocketbook.
Well, we do the real work at least.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shots fired, Corey.
You just get to make the decisions.
Oh, no.
I have a couple suggestions. It'd be great to encourage people during to start an ANS and to make garb for that, and to have a garb chest so that people can start getting familiar with different examples or possibilities of things that they could make towards garb and what they want. And also we have a war chest for the fighters, but also if anybody has kids, it's great to make a peace chest, which is a special collection of fun little games and coloring items or things like that that kids can play with, that's only there at battle games, that they can utilize and can take their attention while their parents can enjoy battle games.
Okay, that's a good tip. Thank you very much for that.
That's a really cool tip.
Majoraza, if you end up getting the region position filled, let me know and I can actually include them into our group too, just so they can kind of have an idea of the going-ons about what being a region entails.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to show them the ropes for getting started on that position because it's a fun.
Yeah, no, definitely trying to find people to fill all our positions is very important.
Also, a quick way to make sashes to take some felt and cut felt into strips. They'll last forever.
I've actually been getting decently priced materials at Joann's and just sewing that together.
Nice. All right. Does anybody have any questions? All right. Hearing nothing, I will call this session closed at 8:41, and we can move down to talk about awards.
Huzzah!